Hey, you there, let's make a deal. If you guys can get me to 500 subscribers, I will make a Discord server for all of us. You guys get notifications for my awful videos, and we all get a place to chat. It's a win-win. So anyway, all sub-begging aside, I have a pretty interesting theory for you guys today regarding the true identity of the crying child from Fnaf 4. Originally, we had no idea who this guy was. Then we thought he was one of William's sons. Then we thought he was Michael Afton. And then we thought, or more specifically, MatPat thought, that he wasn't a member of the Afton family at all, but that Michael was actually Henry's son. Now, I 100% agree with this theory. There is an overwhelming amount of evidence backing it up, and it almost seems undeniable. In fact, I would go as far as to say that it's one of MatPat's best and most solid FNAF theories. But here's the thing. A lot of people have used this one cutscene from FNAF 5 to disprove this theory, because Springtrap shows up when Michael says, "Father." Now, I don't think this disproves anything. I think Springtrap popping up wasn't done to show a correlation between Michael's father and Springtrap. It was done to establish a timeline and to show that Springtrap is still alive. Okay, now the part of the theory that I do have a problem with is Michael being the crying child. It just never sat quite right with me. And I think that today I have enough evidence to not only disprove this, but figure out exactly who the crying child actually is. Okay, so if Michael died at the hands of Fredbear and was later rebuilt as a robot by Henry, then why was his body able to rot after being scooped? Robots don't rot. Now, I know what you're thinking, but the sound illusion discs could have changed his body. Well, sound illusion discs are only known to manipulate sound and audio. However, Michael was fired from his FNAF 1 job for odor, and most importantly of all, Ennard actually ditched his body once it was too rotten and withered for him to use anymore. If his body was robotic and just using sound illusion discs, nothing would physically change about Michael, and Ennard would be able to continue using the body. And not only that, Michael rotting is a huge plot point in these games. It's the entire subject of the Custom Night minigames, and the entire reason that Michael was called the Purple Man in the first place. Okay, now I can hear you all saying, but Molten Fredbear, what about the security logbook? Well, it all works out if you play as Michael during the nights and the crying child during the minigames. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's really quite common in the FNAF universe to play as different characters in the nights versus the minigames. Just look at FNAF 6. And further evidence for this is if you look at the bedrooms of who I'm going to say is the older brother and the crying child's, they're completely different. The closet is non-existent. The dresser's on the opposite side of the room. There are different toys. Some toys are even missing, and the bedroom in the minigames has one less doorway than the one in the game. These are clearly different rooms. In the same house, most likely, but different rooms nonetheless. So then how do we explain Michael knowing the appearance of the nightmare animatronics? I'd say that this is Michael experiencing PTSD from being responsible for the death of his younger brother. The pills, flowers, and IV are symbolic of Michael watching his younger brother slowly die in the hospital. Nightmare literally being the embodiment of his guilt. If you want to get really nitpicky, the ages don't add up either. The crying child was only 3 when FNAF 4 took place, making him 13 when FNAF 1 happened, far too young to work a security shift. But the older brother, who was probably 10 or 11 when FNAF 4 took place, would probably be old enough to work a security shift by 1993 when FNAF 1 happened. So if the older brother is in fact Michael, then who is the crying child? Well, this is where things get interesting, as it is pretty much confirmed at this point that Michael is actually Henry's son and not William's, and we know that the crying child is about the same age as Henry's daughter Charlotte, so they are probably twins. And we know for a fact that from the Silver Eyes, Charlotte had a twin brother named Sammy. So this is who we're seeing in FNAF 4. Further evidence for this is the books implied that Sammy was lured away by William, just like we see him doing in the Fnaf minigame, luring him out of his room to go to that place again. We are playing as Sammy in Fnaf 4, and he is the one who dies at the hands of Fredbear. Now, I know that this theory may be a bit controversial, and I'm not exactly 100% confident about it, but I do feel like it fills in a lot of the holes in Michael's storyline. And I think it answers more questions than it raises. I don't know how to account for everything, and I know that it is far from perfect. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinions on this theory in the comments. I've thought about this theory for quite a while, and I am quite interested to hear what you guys have to say. Well, bye. I'll see you guys in 5 days when the new Bendy trailer comes out.